Okay, I got the new roller part from the C2300 NordicTrack Treadmill from Icon. Here's the receipt. It was delivered by UPS. Cost $100 and some. Icon is in Logan, Utah. I just called the number on the NordicTrack manual and gave them the model number and part number, serial number. With the roller came these nice instructions. Tells you to lower your unit and then go to the rear and unscrew these bolts here that tighten and adjust the belt, the running belt. I did them 10 times. They leave you a place here on the right and the left to write that down, which if I didn't do it, but if I would, I'd put 10 on each. That way it's nice. You remember, you don't have to remember how many you did, and then you can tighten it back, same number. Then you're supposed to use a pair of needle nose pliers, which I did, to remove the spring here that keeps the this belt tight. So you have to loosen that up. So then that loosens up the front roller, and then there's this bolt here which you loosen, and you want to mark where it's at. So anyway, I've just marked on the side of the frame. You can measure it, count the number of threads of this screw that end up sticking past the frame. That's what I did, and there were 8 threads. So then once you disconnect this, then you can turn the old roller and slide the motor belt off. Now if you want to replace the motor belt, this would be the time you want to do it, and to do that you would loosen the 2 nuts on this side of the motor, and then that frees the motor up, so you can slip the belt off the end of it. You would pull the motor this way, slip the belt off the end of that, and then off this end, and then put the new belt back on in reverse. So then when you have it on and the screw tightened back to where you think it should be, then obviously you just go to the rear and tighten these screws in using the Allen wrench that came with the unit the same number of times, and mine was 10, and then turn it on and adjust these to make sure the belt stays centered. So I've already taken the cover off. I'll show you how to do that. But here's the front roller, and you see here the ring that holds the bearings in, I believe, has come loose, and the roller is really rattling, so it's time to replace it. To replace this roller, you have to take this screw out, and it has a little wire here for grounding, and when we take this out, we'll try to make sure we keep the number of threads, or the distance of this to the end of the threads, calculated, so we can make sure we get this back in the same spot. It's pretty much centered. Well, I take it back, it's not quite centered in between these 2 edges, but anyway, so we'll take a measurement or something here, and then we're going to replace the drive belt, which is on that end of the motor. So we'll have to loosen this roller completely and take it out. Now this belt is very tight, this is a running belt, so we will have to first loosen the running belt, and we do that using the Allen wrench that came with the machine. It has two ends to it, a smaller and a larger, and we use the larger one. There are screws going in that turn and move this roller here forwards and backwards, tightening the belt. So we'll loosen this one. One time. Seven. Let's do the other one. One. 7. Belt's slipping as I turn it, so it's definitely loosened the belt. You might go, I watched the guy's video online, did a good job. Now it's not exactly a Nordic unit he's working on, but he did it 10 times. Just go ahead and do it 10. So there's 8, 9, 10. Eight, 9, 10. Make a mark to the center, and then to the edge, and then to this edge. This appears to be like 3/8 of an inch. And you can also use the number of threads that are sticking out. It appears to be 8. Using a Phillips screw head. Okay, there's the screw loose. And we want to keep this grounding wire on there. Okay, there's the spring loose. Here's a new roller. Came from NordicTrack. Came in this box with this packing. So notice the end. The old one is coming loose. The new one is sealed. get the belt on. Now here, if you want to replace this belt, and this one is the original belt, but it's just worn a little along the edges, not on the bottom. So I'm going to continue using it, but got to get it over the edge, and then rotate the new roller and thread it on. And this is the way I threaded it off also. Just keep working it on. Okay, I've discovered that this end is bigger in diameter than the original insert is, this plastic insert, and it's worn. It really needs to be replaced, but this shaft is too large to go over this. So we're going to have to just leave this out, and this is a 1/16 of an inch smaller in diameter than the new one. So that's a problem. This is a 12-year-old treadmill, and we're going to go ahead and use this. We don't know. So we'll slide this back to the belt. And thread the motor belt on. Like so. Center the belt on here. And then we have to line this up so the screw can go into the shaft. And we want to make sure we put this grounding strap on it. Turn it by hand for a little while. That's probably about right. You can always come back and adjust it. Slide the belt over a little bit so it's centered here and here. Now we got to put the spring back on. which tightens up the belt. I got the spring back on. I used pliers. So now we're ready to tighten the screws on the rear. And we did these with 10 turns. That's 5. Let's do 5 on the other side. There's 5. Let's go ahead. 6. 10. It'll be 6. 10. Okay. We're ready to turn it on. Okay, I think I got the belt adjusted correctly, so now let's turn on the treadmill and see. Okay, it's working great. It's actually quieter. Now let's put on the cover. It has 3 screws that hold it in on the front. We don't even usually tighten them because they won't come off. So anyway, so there's the new front roller installed, and this 12-year-old treadmill, NordicTrack C2300, will continue operating. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're interested. I have lots of videos on working on this unit and many other things. My John Deere tractor, all kind of DIY videos, and leave me comments if you're interested in this video or want me to do something else. And this is Old John signing out.